Good morning. This is Judy, Artistic Artifacts. We're in Alexandria, Virginia. We're a brick and mortar store and a website. So you can shop 24 hours around the clock. We are here this morning to talk about paper piecing. But of course, there's a few announcements. So it is November 1st. I don't know how time flies, but it flies really fast. So November 1st, what we have in store for you for November is that we have a special Artistic Artifacts only sale that is 25% off of Bernina accessories. We have, our sale will last through the month. It is a holiday special a little bit early. And we wanted you can take advantage of this sale online or in the store. So that's the first big news. The next is that we have our previously loved sale, which we've been asked for. Our customers are asking us, and that is going to be the day after Thanksgiving. Traditionally, we have been closed because we figured everybody was shopping at the big box stores. But there are fewer and fewer big box stores now. So we are going to be open for you. We will have our previously owned sale on Friday, and then whatever is left is Saturday. It's first come, first served. All the machines have been evaluated by our techs so that you will be able to feel comfortable in knowing that mechanically they are all fine. And you will have access, if it is a current model Bernina, to our mastery class, and it's a 1-year warranty. So that is coming up back by popular demand. It's awesome. And then we have some make and takes that we're doing that are free. So come on in, spend some time with us in the store. We have today our pumpkin making, which this is our sample right here. It's on the table, making some wool scraps and some felt scraps and making a little tiny pumpkin for you. It'll be, as I said, it's free, and it is on the schedule in the on our website, our make and takes. So we have some in November and some in December. We have another opportunity on November 16th. I think it's a Sunday, where we get asked many, many times that people will come in and go, oh, your fabrics are so awesome. I don't sew. Do you have somebody who could sew clothing for me? Well, we do now have a tailor that is has relocated to the United States from Afghanistan, and was a tailor in his country and trying to establish being a tailor here. And we're like, oh, this is awesome. So on the 16th, he will be here. He will be able to talk to you about clothing that you might want to have made. He will show you some of the things that he has made. We've seen a preview. We all oohed and awed. Wonderful craftsmanship. So we have that opportunity to help another business person start their business here on the 16th. So if you're in the area and interested, please come. Those Wednesday newsletter and Monday newsletter. So look for those. If you're not on our mailing list, you can sign up online. And then we do have a local newsletter that we attempt to get it out every month. Sharon does a really great job of things that are more local oriented, that are only store opportunities. And if you're interested in that, please use the contact form to let us know. So I think that is most of it. What did I forget, Chris?
One other class that's coming up is the Buy Annie Bag.
Buy Annie Bag, side hustle.
I think we have a couple spaces left in that.
Yes, yes.
So please sign up. That's with Marta, and she's our Buy Annie expert, and it should be a good one to join.
And she has a pre-shopping day that is no charge, that if you want to come and talk to her about materials and all that kind of stuff, she's done that in an Advantage. Dudley's pre-beginning quilting class is up as well. Still spaces in those. So come get a little creativity from us and change what happens in your day. All right, what else? Did I get everything else? Okay, good. We're good. Paper piecing. I'm going to repeat myself, and I'm sorry for those of you who already know this, but Artistic Artifacts started in 2007 as a web-only business, and I was more of a mixed media artist and not necessarily what I would term a quilter. I didn't know the rules. I didn't, oh, maybe I had a quarter inch, or I don't know how these blocks are not all the same. Oh, was I supposed to trim them? I mean, that's how I came into this industry, really not knowing quilting, and there's reason for quilting rules. And so I have been learning them as I go. You have been teaching me and showing me about squaring up blocks and how to make a large quilt that's a little bit beyond 48 by 48 or 36 by 36. So I'm going to take you back to what I thought paper piecing was, or foundation piecing. We're not doing EPP, we're not doing English paper piecing, we're doing foundation paper piecing. So I was at a lecture, it had to have been a number of years ago, by Bonnie Hunter, and she was talking about her scrap quilts. And so I ran out, this was even before I had the store, and I bought her book that had this pattern in it, and I started making these strips. So,
that's all Australian fabric you're using.
Yes, it's all Australian, which I loved. So in this box has become all the miscellaneous blocks, but basically what I did was this piece here was what was paper pieced. So I made these strips, and as you can see, the strips are all different sizes. I never pre-cut the size. There was no instructions to do that, and if they were, I didn't read them. And then we had this piece that came here. So this was what my first foundation paper piecing project was. It was scraps. I'm like, oh, well, I don't have to cut anything the right size. I can just pull these strips out of this bag. And so that was my knowledge of foundation paper piecing. Oh, it's a way to do scrappy quilts. Well, I've had a little bit of education since then, and it is not quite that.
Oh, it is.
Well,
it's one way of doing it.
It's one way of doing it. But today, we have these great foundation piecing patterns. And they're really quite well done. There's a video for each pattern that was done by the manufacturer. It has a picture of it. And this is very traditional for my brain. And then you get in here and it tells you how many blocks you're going to need for every size. Thank goodness somebody else did the math. And it gives you instructions. So my first surprise was when it said cut 2 3.5 inch squares. What? I have to have a square? And then it tells you from light fabrics and dark fabrics, and it gives you specific sizing of things to cut. So I'm like, okay, for someone who lives on scraps, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll have a piece of fabric big enough. So I did what she said. I cut them. And so this was my first attempt. And again, as I say, I have a lot of Indonesian, batik, I have unique vintage things, but yardage fabric, I just come to the store when I need some. So anyway, so the instructions
are the scraps I give you.
Are the scraps that you give me. So for the fact that I needed 4.5 inch squares, I wasn't sure if I had them, but nevertheless, I could get some. So I did the due diligence. I actually read the instructions and I watched the video. And there was some really great information about the video that they gave us. And I do recommend, these are very, very popular. I do recommend them. Try them. Beginner, doesn't have to be complicated, but do watch the video. They have some great things that they tell you. First of all, I will tell you that this is not your top. this is actually your stitching lines and where you're laying your fabric. First thing they tell you to do is crease all of these and do your lines. So, and again, I have to try it my way, the first way, and there's a reason why they're telling you this. It does make it easier. So all of these lines get creased. And here, right here. And here. And here. And this paper is a lightweight paper, so in theory it's going to be a little bit easier to tear. So you can see I have folded this. And the reason why it's important to fold these is because I'm going to place my fabric on the side that does not have the lines. So she told me to cut these pieces, and I did cut them out. So here's my first one, and this is, I'll show you. Let me just, so this is all in the order that you are going to sew these pieces of fabric together. Okay, so my big square is number 1. So nothing's holding it down. So I used this 505 temporary adhesive. You can use a glue stick, but this is works. And so I'm going to put this down, and I can look to see, do I have 1/4 inch? So I just want to make sure. And again, this is a lot. This is a little bit long, because she told me to cut this.
That's fine.
It's fine. All right. Then the next ones to go on are going to be my triangles here. So my number 2 is going to be here and here. And I did use clips instead of pins, but I forgot my clips at home. So I'm just gonna.
You're much more meticulous than I was when I did mine.
I've had them slide, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I found I'm not very meticulous, but
I know.
I did slide when I went to flip it, because this is going to be my line I'm going to sew on. I wonkied them. So the seam ripper is not my friend. Okay, so this is going to tell us the order. So I have my 1, my square, and my 2 and my 3 here. Now, let me show you my sewing machine. Again, this confirms some of the information that I knew, and I'm sewing on a 790 Pro. I have it threaded with Deco Bob, which is an 80 weight thread. Very great. I use that for all my piecing now. And so I have it in the bobbin and the top. Well, maybe I don't have it in the bobbin. But so then I also am going to change my stitch to 1303. I have to tell it that I have a 97D. It still has a single hole stitch plate on it, so I'll tell it that. And I'm also going to reduce my pressure of my foot by 10. So if you see over here, this is my tension. Here's my foot. Here's the pressure of my foot onto my fabric. This is my single hole stitch plate. I'm going to put my laser on, and I'm using 1303. We went to a training session with Christy, who is the head of the education department of Bernina, and she's like, well, that's your piecing stitch. I was like, oh, I thought it was number 1. She said, no, this is 1. So we do that now. So then so I have my fabric here, and I'm going to flip it and come down here, and it says to start a 1/4 inch. My feed dogs are down? Oh, they are down. Thank you. That would have been bad. All right. And I'm following this line. That's why I'm upside down. It says upside down to me, and it's kind of counterintuitive. Because I originally, the first time I did it, I put my fabric on the printed side, and that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put your fabric on the non-printed side. That's why folding those creases is such an important thing. I have my laser on, so I've got about 1/4 inch. Pull my pin out. So I'm going to fold here, and then add my other pieces and keep going as it says, you know. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we keep adding those. But the important thing is the Deco Bob, the 90 needle, because it also makes all of these, the paper easier to come off. So when you have your block done, the other thing that it does is it says trim on this line. So it's going to tell you how to square up your block, which is kind of helpful too. There's reasons for all of these lines. I have tried to jump a few of them and not pay attention to them. And then I come back and go, oh, that's why they put those on there. So that project, the manufacturer, the instructions are great. The videos are great. There are reasons why. So we highly recommend that product, but I'll keep going. I'll show you what the, block looks like, but I wanted to just show you how I set my machine up and why I was stitching with those in that thread. All right. So this block will actually have made several of them. And again, I was kind of being in the tones and I was looking for scraps, but that's what this block is going to look like. So this is kind of a consistent one. You know, by the time I get to make any samples, the fabric's not available to you. I know I should be using something I have in the store, but it doesn't happen that way. The other tool I want to show you is a couple of things that they recommend. So we said needles, we said this. This little guy is going to help press here and here. So if you're not close to your iron, which I'm an ironer, but you don't have that, you can sit and do this at your sewing machine. You don't have to keep getting up. So then we're going to add these pieces,
So
right sides together.
Diane asked the question, I think you just answered it, is do you press between steps?
I do. I do press between steps.
But you're using the roller, or do you use your Aliso and your wool mat?
Both. Both. I mean, this actually does a really good job. So you don't have to, and then you're going to iron. I have a wool mat and I have my Aliso iron that I iron the block when it's done. So and then I use my Stripology ruler to actually square my blocks up. So in my turning mat. So turning mat, Stripology ruler, the smaller or the medium one, to actually square my blocks up. I've been doing them as I've been sewing just because I was excited. I wanted to see what they look like. But so I will actually make something with these. And as you can see, I have my piles of scraps and I've just pulled them together. You know, there is a collection in there, but then there's some oddball ones. And I did cut them in advance. So I did follow the instructions a little bit, kind of, maybe. But anyway, so this is what it is, and it is Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. It's soemma.com, and we have them all here. They're in stock. A really nice way to do it. So we did that one. Chris did the flying geese. And look at this piece I want to show you. This is all with this piece. Yeah. And so these are the flying geese. And I have to say, I didn't bring my first mistakes. I brought the ones that worked. So again, they're going to tell you what pieces to cut. I tried using a directional fabric and thought, oh, you're making it too hard. So I went back to a different type of fabric, but it also gives you these ideas on how to use the pieces once you have them stitched. So we have our paper piecing here, where you're doing 2 blocks at a time. Your instructions, which I already said were really, really good, and the video is wonderful. But then also it gives you some ideas on some layouts. And then this is what Chris executed. So that one was great with Tula.
Yeah, I used a bundle of the Tula.
Yep.
And then Barbara did the quilting.
Oh, Barbara, it's because it all looks custom.
So she did all custom quilting on the whites.
So.
And this one actually calls for, this is the 2.5 by 5. And you start with a 6-inch block.
Yes.
And which would be perfect for the rolls of cape that come in 6 inches. And
yes.
then pick a cape woven.
That's true.
So,
oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
That's a great
that'd be
one.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's 2 sizes, but this one was, but look, you could just do that and then do a solid for the background.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Wouldn't
that would be good. Yes. And then there's another size as well. So those are there. They are great. Then I love the idea of stars. As you saw my first one was like this as well. So I pulled some other scraps, and again I was trying to work with Tilda. And so this one I did my way. I'm still not sure if it's the right way to do it. I totally skipped pre-cutting the fabric. So you
did flip and sew?
I did flip and sew. So I started, this tells you to do these 2 pieces separately. So here's this one here, and there's this one here. So for this one, you can see I didn't quite, there it is, it's here. So I kind of didn't do it right. So don't do it my way. Do it the way they tell you. The block turned out, and now you know how my brain thinks. It's kind of wonky, but
what size is this?
I don't know.
It's a 6-inch block, and then that's basically, it's going to make a 12-inch. Overall, it's going to make a 12-inch block. So you're only off by about 1/8 of an inch. So no, you didn't do it wrong.
Still did it.
You just didn't realize that it was going to be a 12-inch.
Wasn't good. I was lucky I got one.
Learn as we go, right?
Yep. So, but again, there's reasons why there's instructions, and they've tested them. I'm sure, I can assure you of that. And so, but this is I was trying to be a little bit more scrappy. So anyway, there's that one too. Now that I've blown your mind and you've tried to follow me, are there any other questions so far?
So far, no, but Pamela says she's happy to finally get to see you live. It's the first time. I thought that you meant see the technique live. But either way, it's great.
Yes. Okay, great.
Thanks, Pamela, for joining us.
Yes. So, okay, so we talked about my tools. We talked about the iron.
And Marta gave us one reminder, is the Clover iron also is great to have for ironing.
Oh, that's true. Yes, that's a little bit smaller than this one is. That's always good, too, the Clover iron. All right, so we have more. we have more paper piecing, foundation paper piecing. We have this awesome quilt that is all paper piece. It's wonderful colors. It's using the 2.5-inch rolls, color frolic. It's just so incredibly happy. It is wonderful. So that is there as well. And then we have some other ones. Look at this moth. Isn't this fabulous? So that is going to be, is paper pieced as well. And then there's a dragonfly. So it seems to be a continuing trend. It gives us some real opportunities. That's the thing where, that's my next one I want to try, is that, again, I have straight lines, I have solid blocks, but the paper, foundation paper piecing is good to make patterns. Dudley's quilt that she just did a class on is all on that. This is, I mean, look at these hummingbirds. Now, when I look at some of the log cabin, I can do it straight lines, but something to be a mushroom or a tree or a bird. Oh, the bird is cute. I always put a bird on it. These make me a little nervous. I'm going to really have to read the instructions. And these are a little bit smaller pieces and scrappier. But the whole idea of that you can make patterns and blocks that look like a flower or look like a bird, and that your foundation paper piecing allows you to do that. We also have the triangles on a roll, which I did use these early on.
We've brought them back.
We've brought them back. It's a great stash bunchers. What I love about these is it is a roll. So you can it's easier to keep going, and I just felt you could make the blocks really quickly. It didn't seem to be as painful as I can make it. So those are awesome too.
So these patterns, all three of the patterns in the kit are with Insectarium and Watermark. It's just
new fabric lines that we just got in.
The Watermark has all of those little marks on it.
Like somebody dropped water onto painted
and the colors
fabric.
Go with Insectarium. And both of these were quilted on our Q24 by Martha.
And downloaded some really great patterns.
Yeah, I love the pattern she picked for the moth.
Yep. It's great. All right.
Okay.
I think I got it all. I think that gives you a bird's eye view into Judy and foundation paper piecing. And if there aren't any other questions.
Julie Booth says, love the moth, and it's nice to see you this morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. I'm glad everybody joined us. It's nice to be here. Okay, we have a great day. We have our make and take. We're open. We're here. Come in, be inspired. Look on the web. We do have an updated blog, so take a look at that. Chris took care of that. Gives you some other ideas. And again, some great creativity. So enjoy your day. It's November 1st, and have a creative, wonderful day. Thank you for joining us.